Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today, I was actually planning, there were a few good questions that people asked, and I was planning on answering them and make a subject on that. However, there are a few things that came out on the news, and I'd like to address them. And the title of this uh, video is Prophecies Have Been Fulfilled. And I spoke before that it's not like I'm prophesying or I'm a prophet. Neither, actually. I'm not prophesying or I'm a prophet. I'm neither. Okay? However, when you know what happened in history, like in the 70s and 80s of last century, and you see similar things happening today, you can somehow predict what will happen within a couple of years. So I can see that the Middle East is like a pressure pot. And I spoke before that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia felt that if he doesn't do change, if he doesn't come with a change soon, the country will be a chaotic country. There will be no order. Okay, it will be anarchy in Saudi Arabia and in the whole Middle East region. It's already some countries, I mean, the Middle East is boiling for a long time, but it is more than average. Before it was a hot spot, now it's a boiling spot. It's almost like lava spitting out from the ground. Okay, what I'm going to talk about, I don't endorse it and I don't like it and I don't believe it is correct or right. However, it is happening in Saudi Arabia. On the news, we read that in a city called Jeddah, in north of Jeddah, two young men have been arrested. And the crime is because they are imitating women. That means I don't know exactly, I didn't see them, I don't know them, but probably they are putting makeup or wearing a wig or what, I don't know. But they are trying to make themselves look like girls. Right or wrong is not the issue, because it's not for me to tell them what's right or what's wrong. I am not teaching them morality. But I wouldn't advise my children, if they are boys, to act like girls. And if they are girls, I wouldn't advise them or encourage them to act like boys. A boy is a boy, a girl is a girl, a man is a man, a woman is a woman. Okay, each has his or her own responsibility in life. Put that aside now. I spoke before that when people taste freedom, you cannot take it away from them anymore. You cannot control them again. And I said before that as it happened in the Soviet Union in the late 80s, when President Mikhail Gorbachev, he started that program called the Perestroika to allow some freedom to the people of the Soviet Union, and we have seen and witnessed it was like an explosion, and the whole Soviet Union disintegrated so quickly, and Germany was united, the wall was destroyed, and the reason is no one wants to live as a slave, even to an ideology. Okay, what do we have in the Middle East? It's very similar. We have an ideology that encourages or teaches caliphate, which is practically slavery. The caliphate is a man who represents God on earth, and his job is to tell you how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, where to go, where not to go, and how to even sleep with your wife, and what to do with your wife. So that's controlling, similar to the Soviet Union. For a while, people endured this. But I made a video before, and I spoke about the havoc that the internet have brought on Islamic ideology, and that will not be put back together again. Okay, so I'm not advocating homosexuality, but reality is homosexuality does exist. In the Middle East, they deny that because they are ashamed of it. Of course, I'm not saying I'm proud of it. I don't want my children to go this path. I don't think any of us want our children to be involved in this activity. So, but people should be free. Okay? For example, coffee is not really the most healthy drink that you should drink. It raises up the blood pressure, it dehydrates you, it could cause so many things. It actually gives you acid, stomach acid, heartburn. Okay, and despite of all that, I do not want anybody to come to me and say, don't drink your cup of coffee in the morning or in the evening. I do what I want. Okay, even if it hurts me. If drinking coffee hurts me, leave me alone. And the same goes to drugs and alcohol. When you are free, you are supposed, nobody should tell you what to do. I'm not saying go and use drugs or get drunk. No. But if you choose to do that and destroy your own health, no one should tell you, no, you shouldn't, or I'm going to stop you. If you are free, you do whatever you want. But with that, you take full responsibility. That means if you know that you are going to drive, you better not drink. If you are sitting home, weekend, you want to get drunk, go ahead, because you are not hurting anybody. Okay, but you are drunk, you drive your car, you go down the road swinging, no, you go to jail. Because you are actually putting other people in danger because of your irresponsible behavior. Okay, the same thing with drugs. If you want to use drugs, I don't care. It's none of my business to tell you what to do. But you shouldn't be operating machineries or cars or something while you are impaired that it can cause other harm. If you want to harm yourself, it's your business. You are free to do so. Now, why am I saying this? Because even though I don't agree with what these two young men done in Saudi Arabia, nevertheless, they are free to do that. Okay? No one Not the king, not the authority, not the police should tell them what to do. Okay? These things, they are taught. You teach morality to your children at home. So this what they learn at home, leave them alone. That's their own morality. Don't. I understand the Muslim, they won't have that uh, look of being pious and faithful and holy. So even something unholy is showing up, cover it up, cover it up. Okay? Don't put it out for everyone to see. However, this is, even though it's wrong, I feel it's wrong and it's bad, but it shows that the grip that it was on the people, that tight grip that it was on the people, it is loosening. The government and the authority of Muslim countries have lost the grip, and they know it. And I said that before. The Prince of Saudi Arabia is very smart. He knows that this is happening. So he is letting go little by little, but it's going faster than what he wants. Okay, they are doing this today. He himself, he declared that this black thing that women wear is no longer optional. And I predict within 2 years, the head cover also, he will say it's optional. Okay, this because they have no choice. And I wish I could advise these people to slow down, because if we remember what happened in 1989 in China, in Tiananmen Square, when the Chinese students, they are idealistic and they wanted freedom. We know the massacre that it took place in 1989. And in a way it was good, because China is, it's a huge country, it's a huge population, and they lived under this regime for so long. If it goes out of chaos, there will be mafia, and probably half of the population would be slaughtered, because there will be no law or order, and you have people robbing one another, and it's a fair game. Your neighbor has a couple of dollars, you go and kill him and take it. Especially that most of the Chinese, they really don't believe in higher authority, so it's a fair game. It's a survival situation. I kill you, I take whatever you have, and I live on it until somebody else comes and kills me. That's it. So, but in a way, it is good, because there is kind of like a chain. The Muslim person is held by a chain from his neck, because he feels I have to follow the commandment of God. So in a way, the situation is a little different than from China. Yet, if the situation gets out of hand completely, it will be really bad, because it will spread to the rest of the region like wildfire. Okay. So this I predicted before, and when I say I predicted, I don't mean that I'm a prophet, but I compare what happened in the past and what is taking place today. Okay, so the Soviet Union exploded and disintegrated so quickly, and the same thing is happening now in the Muslim countries, and specifically we see things happening quickly in Saudi Arabia. The second thing that it's worthy of mentioning is on the news. Austria, the Prime Minister of Austria, found out that some mosques, Muslim mosques, are educating the little children to be like soldiers, and they are teaching them that the Ottoman Empire, the Ottoman Caliphate, conquered Austria, and therefore, like, get ready and train, be strong. They are putting them in camouflage suits, attire, and they are teaching them to be military soldiers. Okay, this came out, and the Prime Minister of Austria, he closed 7 mosques and he deported the leaders of these mosques. They were receiving money from outside countries, and I'm sure these countries are Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain. Petrodollar, petrodollar. They don't know what to do with it. Okay. I spoke before also that the opposite direction in Europe has already started, has begun, and that is a substantial accomplishment now. Austria started kicking these people. They are coming as refugees or as people who teach a religion. You don't come to my country with a political agenda covered in a religious belief. Okay? Your objective, your inner objective that you don't show, is ultimately you want to destroy me and take over my country for yourself. But you are coming at taking advantage of the religious freedom that it's offered by the West. So in a way, you are a double-faced person. You are a double-tongued person. You are not a trustworthy person. You are not a trustworthy person. So already the people now are aware of these tricks that Islam teaches and the Muslim are applying. It's over. It starts now with Austria, Germany, and Britain are to hear from you guys. They are done. Especially with the arrest of Tommy Robinson now, the people are coming out knowing that this is unfair, and there are certain people in authority receiving money. I don't know it, I didn't see it, but I can predict that too. People in the parliament, in the British parliament, receiving bribes in the millions to do that. Why? Because Tommy Robinson is very dangerous to the existence of Islam in Europe and in London. So they want to silence him at any cost. He has to die. He has to die. Okay? London is paying for the mistake of electing Sadiq Khan as the mayor of London. You elect a person like that as a mayor, you pay for it. You couldn't find a better person than this? It's your fault. I'm sorry. In all of London, there was a decent man other than Sadiq Khan, who is receiving money from petrodollar from the Middle East, who has a political agenda that differ from the free society that Britain enjoyed? You elected this man. You get him out. Take back your country. Okay. The third thing is actually Saudi Arabia already hand out driver license to women, and women already started to drive. And that might sound like a joke, but it is true, but it might sound joke to you. The Muslim clerks used to say women should not drive because they had to find a way to justify this nonsense because it affects her ovary and she may not get pregnant when she gets married. And so all the women in the world, there are more than 7 billion people in Saudi Arabia. I think there are 30 million, half of them women, and not all of these half they can conceive. So you're talking about like 4 or 5 million women. Okay, and all other women can drive. Some even drive motorcycles and they have babies and they have no problem. Only Saudi Arabia, Saudi women, if they drive a car, then they will not conceive children. It's a joke. But these Muslim clerk, that was their justification. And the same when the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia told them to let them drive, now they say, oh, there's nothing wrong with driving. A woman can drive. No, no, it doesn't affect anything. The same guys, same people, the same Muslim clerks. Okay, this is what Muhammad taught them, to have double faces. One face for outside people, for non-Muslim, to show them how wonderful Islam is, and the other face with one another. They understand each other and their language. Okay, that's the third thing. There's one more thing, it's not so good, but it happened, that there's unrest in Jordan. And this really worries me a lot because Jordan is a kingdom and it is, in a way, more open and there is fair treatment to people more than any other country. And now, because of the world economic situation, people are affected, so there is unrest. But should that continue, that will not be a very good sign for Jordan or for the rest of the region. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that will pass without incident. They are negotiating now, so let's hope that it will end up peacefully. I will try next week to address the things that I promised people to speak about. But I wanted to give this video because I thought it is important. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again.